Okay, hello. This will be my eye animation tutorial. So here are the parts we have cut out. We have the top eyelid, the pupil, the eye itself, and the bottom eyelid. And sometimes I will say this. This is a very specific panel, but sometimes the eyebrow will be separated from the upper eyelid. But you can just use that. You can just move it using position or puppet pins. Okay, so actually let's just go straight into this. So first of all, here's the shape of the eye. So I'm just gonna keep pulling. I'm gonna put a keyframe. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna put a puppet pin here. I guess here. I think I'm pulling right here, here, and here. That's just what I would go for here. Sometimes the eye is more intricate, and I'll just put it on the area where I want it to end. So right here. And now we can move these puppet pins. So these two are just keep it in place, I'd say. I can move this down. Move this down. Oh, auto saving. We can move this down and this down here. Okay, that looks kind of pointy, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, I can just add, like if it's pointy like that thing, I'll just add a couple more puppet pins. Although, like this issue arises where it's like, what the freak is going on? But if it's fast enough, because I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be putting a graph. So I'm going to be putting a tight graph that looks a little bit like this. And I'm going to put that here. And if it's fast enough, and I might use liquify on it, it just depends. But there it is. So we got a smooth eye opening. Well, that's just the top eyelid. We're not in, we're done. So let's go straight to bottom eyelid time. So pulling like right, okay, well, here's my bottom eyelid shape. So I'll just put one along the edge. So boom, 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 boom. We will put this over here. Keyframe all that. And now we can just move this a bit up. See how eyes work is that the bottom eyelid moves significantly less than the top eyelid. And actually, in this, let me go see how this would look like. Because sometimes I like to switch around which the layers sit on. I think okay, I will put my bottom eyelid above my top eyelid. It just looks better in this scenario, but that is solely depends on what looks better. It just depends on which one you like more in this scenario. But they should be the exact same with the exact same graph. And there. So as you can see, when you blink, your bottom eyelid moves very slightly. So let's keep that in mind. Alright, let's go the pupils time. So I don't really care too much about pupil movement for this scene, but just for the sake of the tutorial, I added it in. So we can make it, so I use position keyframes, by the way. I put a position keyframe. Everything on the eye has to be in the same layer because, or same keyframe frame. Because if they're all in different frames, then your eye won't make any sense. The eye moves as one unit, basically. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this a bit lower. Make his eye kind of go up a bit. You can do whatever you want, though. Just make sure it makes sense. Make sure it's fast enough because your eye is not slow. There we go. All right. Whew. And now this thing is just the background, so you really don't have to touch this at all. Now we can go onto the other eye, which is simply just the same process, but I will go over it again. So we puppet pin the areas where I want it to stay and where to move and stuff like that. Put one right here, and I'll do this again. This looks a lot, but this eye is pretty intricate, so you don't have to do as much. I'll keyframe everything, so it has to line up perfectly. Also, be winking. You don't want them to wink unless you do, which is interesting. But alright, you do you. I will. Okay, this one looks a lot better so far. So just like that, I can close his eyes. Boom. Like, this is the beauty of puppet pins. Okay, I could use liquify, but that's just going to take so long to render, and it might look like a tiny bit better. But puppet pins will forever be my go, and I think puppet pins always look better. I don't even know anybody who uses liquify for eyes, but there it is. Now we can animate the bottom eyelid. So boom, 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 and boom. We keyframe this, link it up exactly. By the way, you should be using the same graph for every. Oh my god, I'm mumbling my words. You should use the same graph for every single one. Let's just move that in a little bit. There. We graph that. And boom. And what we can do is I just want to check if it looks better. Let's see. That low-key looks better. Like, okay, it just depends on the scenario, but in this scenario, I guess the bottom eye looks better on top. This just depends. Alright, let's move the pupil a little bit because the pupil can't be freaking cross-eyed. So we go here. We keyframe that with position. And I will just move it downwards. Let me see if I can link it up with the other one. Oh wait, wrong one. Okay, so I want to make it line up a little bit with that one. This is okay, it doesn't have to be this exact really. I just want to show you like an example. Boom. Now we can unprivate them and we can graph this. And boom, we got eye animation, dude. Like, this is pretty freaking smooth. Okay, now I will show you the blink, because that's just opening the eyes at the beginning. I mean, I don't know, every animation has one of these opening eyes at the beginning. They just look freaking tough. Alright, so let's go blink. I will do a, just for this example, I think, it's a good rule of thumb. I'll make a 2-frame blink, so it'll be 2 frames going down, 2 frames going up. Okay, so now that you have, I want you to lay out every single pop-up pin just like this, okay? All like the keyframes. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold, you don't have to hold down, but just make sure to click every single one with no change done. Just click every single one. Click, click every single one for this, for the starting frame of the blink. And now, wait, let me just do it. Okay, now that that's done, we can go forward. Okay, so let's count this. So we got 1 frame, 2 frame, and as soon as eyes close, 1 frame, 2 frame, open. So how many frames was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, I gotta count. What? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. We got 6. Oh my god, that took a lot longer. Alright, now we can go ahead and keyframe all these things. So, we do the exact same thing we did here. We don't make a single change, we just keyframe all of them. This is important because we needed to restore it to the exact state that it was before and after the blink. And now I will show you a little trick how to make this process infinitely easier. Now what you're going to do is you are going to go in the middle. Now here's the thing. This duration, now that I look at it, low-key seems long, so we can always change it if we want to. But what we're going to do is we're going to drag over, copy the keyframes of this one, and while selected, we're just going to click Control V. And that's just going to paste the keyframes. Here's the thing. There are so much issues whenever I paste keyframes. It always glitches out. It always makes a second layer. So you just got to do it a couple times, but I'd say the rule of thumb is just select all the keyframes of that layer only. Control C without even selecting off Control V. See, it just made another layer. Like, that's not what we want. So let me just give this another shot. There we go. It's a bit weird. Okay, now we do the same, even with the position ones. Actually, no. He actually completely forgot what I just said. The pupil shouldn't really move whenever you blink. That was just for that one because he was looking up and I thought it would look cool. So let's do it only for the eyelids. And the eyebrows, if you're doing eyebrows. See, it messed up. Let me just select them. There we go. Alright, let's test this out. There we go. That looks good. I don't know about you, but that looks good. I like that. That looks good. I will actually animate this one in the next tutorial. But yeah. Well, I just realized I put the position keyframes right here that mean absolutely nothing. So you can remove those if you want. You really don't need those. Yeah. That's all. Alright, bye.